Well, here we are at the beginning of a new year where I've once again failed to deliver on my promise to do better. So this time, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put out videos when I feel like it, and we're going to hope for the best. But we're going to start off hopefully a little strong, and we're going to get this video going, and hopefully this will give me some motivation. I say again, hopefully naive. These are the top 10 plus figures I bought in 2024. Now to start this off, I want to give an honorable mention to Blockies. The whole Wave 1 set of these showed up at my Walmart for $5 a piece, and after buying one, I was hooked. It also took me a while, but I finally found Optimus Prime, and he goes really well with Megatron. These little figures are so incredibly posable. I love that some of them even come with blast effects too. They're honestly a lot of fun to build, a lot of fun to play with, a lot of fun to handle. I genuinely hope to pick up some more of these in the near future. Damn, they got me. Anyway, moving on to number 10. We're going to start off with Crasher. Crasher was one of those figures from the Velocitron line that I just wasn't able to get when she first came out. I was able to luckily find Override and a lot of the others, which I was very happy to find. But Crasher, when I found out she was coming, I knew I needed to find her somehow. And finally she was sent my way, and now I finally feel complete. Moving on to number 9 was something surprising that I didn't think I was going to get, but as soon as I did, it was a lot of fun. Concept Art Sunstreaker. This was another one I didn't get for myself, but I was luckily gifted, and he was honestly a lot of fun. Fun to play with back and forth. Good robot mode, great vehicle mode. Sure, he's kind of kibbly all over the place, and it's unfortunate that he never did show up in the movie. But seeing that he's got a really nice toy, it's nice to have him. But yeah, Sunstreaker's a good enough figure for me to at least end up on this list. At least out of the figures I bought this year. Moving on to number 8, we have got Nightshade. Nightshade is such a fun little figure. I'm glad to have them in my collection and finally pull the trigger on them. They're a lot of fun to play with. They have a cute owl mode, and I'm just really happy to have them. They do a collection no harm at all. Moving on to number 7 was a figure I never thought I would get at first, but then once the opportunity presented itself, I couldn't say no. G2 Toxitron. Now, I did already have the G2 Laser Optimus Prime that came out when Legacy first started, and as fun as it was, Toxitron just kind of makes this one a little better. As someone who loves Optimus Prime to death, a different paint job making him a bad guy kind of made it better. Plus, it still has everything that Laser Prime can do. It's a tanker truck, it can do all the fun stuff. Like, I don't know. It fits really well for me, and it works. I'm really happy to have Toxitron. And now I have 2 separate Toxitrons from my shelf, so that way my animated custom can stay with the animated toys. Moving on to number 6 was a figure that, again, really surprised me. Not because I thought it was going to be bad, but because it surprised me with how much they improved over the original version of it. Gamer Edition Decepticon Soldier. Now, this is a remold from the Barricade figure, which I did a short on. And that was a nice figure that I liked. I was really glad to have. But they did a lot to improve this figure. Yes, it does still have a lot of the kibble issues on the back of his legs and on his back. But the legs lock in place so that way he can be very well balanced now. And again, something that really showed up for me is just another fix that I did. Adding all the purple into the wheels and everywhere it needed to go, it shoots it up so much. It's unfortunate that Hasbro can't always put on the paint apps that we want and need for these figures, but when you're able to put them in, it makes the figure a lot better. Alright, top 5 time. And how do we start? With a figure from one of the lowest regarded Transformers cartoons? Really? While Energon really is the worst of the 3 Unicron Trilogy shows, having an Energon toy show up in modern day with good engineering and a lot of fun put into it, it's really nice to see. And if I'm being honest, it really is just the old Megatron toy just again, but small. But really, what else does it need to be? Because, like, it has all the correct details it needs for Energon Megatron. The look, the colors, it even has the Armada Megatron tank mode with the sword. I should paint that sword at some point. Make it look proper. But the point is, just, this is good. As soon as I saw him, I'm just like, yep, he's mine. And he's proven to be a good toy. So, I'm happy. After I did my short on this guy, I knew that he was going to be on my top 10 list. I just didn't know how high he was going to get. But to see this figure at number 4, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with him. I put out a short with my thoughts on this guy, and my thoughts haven't changed, other than the fact of just knowing what kind of character he was in the movie. Because who would have thought that the most evil version of Sentinel Prime would have such an amazing toy that would show up on my top 10 list. Anyway, enough about the characteristics. The toy is a lot of fun. It could do with a lot of different paint apps now that I see the design from the movie, but overall, really happy with him, and he deserves to be here. You didn't think that was going to be the only Transformers 1 figure that was going to be on this list, though, did you? Studio Series Transformers 1 Megatron. He is spectacular. From the moment that I got him, I have had so much fun playing with him. Sure, the canon might be wrong for this stage of Megatron, but it works overall in tank mode. And the legs do kind of seem a little long, but I don't care. I truly don't. This is a Megatron figure of a Megatron character that commands respect. This is a great toy and a good representation of Brian Tyree Henry's Megatron. Alright, number 2. I didn't put out my video review on him yet, but it's coming. But I can confidently say that Legacy Animated Optimus Prime, so fucking wonderful. Seeing so much love for animated show back up in these new lines has made me so giddy. I've said it before and I'll continue saying it. Transformers Animated is my #1 favorite Transformers cartoon. I truly believe wholeheartedly that it's one of the best. I also want to give a very strong shout out to Animated Bumblebee because I did get them both around the same time and they've both been so incredibly fun. So they both take up the spot. Animated Legacy Animated Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Perfect. But there was one more that was my favorite of the year. And it's hard to deny that he really was. Studio Series Bumblebee. For one of the smallest figures that Studio Series has ever put out, for one of the smallest figures on this list, how did he become #1? And my answer is simple. He was fun. Because not only is his transformation incredible and kind of addicted to do back and forth, he's a dream to animate with. He's so incredibly wonderful. He looks absolutely perfect from every single conceivable angle. He's adorable. He doesn't parts form like the Netflix one. And he squishes down into his Penny Racer mode, and it's just perfect in every conceivable way. I made a short on this guy, but words still truly aren't enough. He is my favorite of the year, and he's absolutely wonderful. He is a figure I would recommend that if you need a Bumblebee, if you need a fun toy, or if you're starting to come into the franchise and you need a good toy for a fun character, this is what you start with. Because this guy is just wonderful all around. Okay, that's been my top 10 of the year. Let me know your top 10s down in the comments, or if you have a video of your own, I'd love to watch it. Here's hoping to some really fun projects being done in 2025. Thanks all for sticking with me. Let's keep these going. Let's get better. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Zero One Transfan, the #1. I'll see you all next time.